Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you guys are new. So today I'm going to show you guys our baby monitor, our dual baby monitor, because you guys have asked me so many times to do a review. So I'm here with Jackson, so bear with me. I'm going to walk you guys through our monitor, where we put them in the room, all the different things that this monitor will do. We have loved it. This guy like stuck in the pillows, I cannot. But anyway, we've had this monitor for like 14 months now. If you're new here, I'm a mom of two, so I've got two kids, and when we found out that we were having Jackson, I needed to get a monitor that I could see both of the kids in. So let me take you guys to their room so you guys can see where it's set up, and then I'm gonna dive into like all the different features that this has, and I'll show you what it looks like and all of those things. So this is what the monitor looks like. I usually keep it here in my room, and there's like a little charging cable that I keep there in between the pillows so that I can charge this. And it's gonna show kind of staticky on this video, but it's really not staticky at all. But anyway, let's go to the kids' room. So I've got Riley's room over here, and I've got Jackson's room. So we'll start off, I think, in Jackson's room. And let me turn off the volume on the monitor so we don't get an echo. So this is where Jackson sleeps, and this is where he takes his naps, and he's like, please don't put me down for a nap. He's like, lady, I do not want to take a nap right now. So he can go play with his book. So this is where I keep Jackson's monitor, and that's what it looks like. We keep it plugged in to the outlet over here because these do need to be plugged in. So if I'm gonna move this, I can move it, but it needs to be plugged into a source, which is totally okay with us. So this thing moves around a ton. You can get a bunch of different angles with it. Just to give you an idea, this is what I'm able to see here with the monitor right there on the little changing table. That's what I get to see. I could have mounted this to the wall, and you guys will see in Riley's room that I could have put it on the wall, but we had this giant painting thing here, so I didn't want to put it like all the way down here because I thought he would like mess with it. But having it here just across the room has worked out fine. So that's the picture that I have now. I can move around the camera, you see, and I can just like get a different view of him. If he's in there and he's moving around, I want to keep an eye on him, I can just kind of move this from side to side. I can also move it up and down. So I haven't ever like had an issue where like I can't see him. So I do like that it's able to give me a good picture of where he's at. Right now I have the lights on, so I'm gonna turn off the lights so you can see what that looks like. You still get a very clear picture of your baby. And then I'll even go as far as like closing the door entirely. So you can see this is the picture that I get of Jackson when it's like pitch black, when he's sleeping. I'm able to still see him. So that's what you can expect. If you have your little one sleeping in a dark space, you can still see them, and that's what the picture would look like. So I'm going to now show you guys what the setup looks like in Riley's room. So this is Riley's room, and like you can see, like I mentioned, we do have Riley's mounted to the ceiling or mounted to the wall up there. So the mounts do not come with the monitor, but you can buy them on Amazon. Joe, my husband, he bought that little mount, and I'll try to link it down below for you guys if I can find it again. But the monitor just sits on that mount, and then we have the cord that runs down here, and then there's an outlet back there where it's powering from. And then with Riley, since we have it like right over her bed, this is a picture that we get of her when she's sleeping. And again, like with Jackson's, we can move this around, and now that she has her toddler bed and she gets out of her bed a little bit every once in a while, oh, that's me, those are my legs, I can totally move this around and just get a nice picture of where she's at. So now that the lights are on, you do get the image in color, again, like with Jackson's room. I'll turn off the lights here so you can see what that looks like. And I have to close the door a little bit more so you can see. So that's what it looks like when Riley is sleeping in here and it's dark. All right, so Jackson's downstairs now with Joe so that I can show you guys the monitor itself and show you guys what it can do and like kind of explain to you why we chose this monitor. So first and foremost, this is a kind of monitor that can't be hacked. It's not Wi-Fi enabled in any way. So literally just to use it, you plug it into the power, you plug in the cord and you turn it on, and then it automatically pairs to the monitor. Joe's the one that set it up, but he told me that there was no real issue setting it up. You cannot see this monitor like from your phone. It has no compatibility with your phone or anything like that, but that's one of the reasons why I chose this monitor, because I use my phone so much throughout the day that I didn't want to like have to be logged into a certain app in order to see the kids. If the kids are sleeping, I have this monitor and I have my phone, and I'm able to do whatever I need to do on my phone while I'm watching my kids on this thing. So yes, it's a little bit annoying in the sense that whenever the kids are sleeping, I have to carry this little thing around if I want to see them, but I'll happily do that so that I'm able to still use my phone, if that makes sense. The other big thing about why we chose this monitor is because I wanted to be able to see both the kids at the same time. So I haven't shown you up until this point, but I'm going to show you guys how I get the split screen on this monitor. All right, so first of all, I went into the kids' rooms and I turned the lights off, and I also turned on their sound machines so that I could show you guys like the noise level and all of that. So this is Jackson's room, and if I press up here, there's the volume. So that's as low as it gets in terms of like the noise. And then if I press this OK button over here on the side, it'll get me to Riley's room. So you can hear hers is like raindrops and Jackson's is like that static noise. If I want it louder, this is how loud it'll go. And then same with Jackson's. That's as loud as it'll go. Believe me, you don't want it any louder, because then when they're screaming their heads off, it's super loud. So that's what I wanted to show you guys in terms of noise. So you definitely can toggle through manually if you want to just switch which room you're seeing at any given time. The other thing that you can do is if you press this OK button and you see this little icon that pops up here, that will switch the image without you touching it every, I think it's like 15 or 30 seconds. I don't know exactly how many seconds in between, but I'm not touching it, and you guys are going to see that it's going to go to Riley's room automatically. So this is how we leave it on when the kids are sleeping at night. And the reason for that is so that we can hear them both, because I'm going to show you guys in split screen, and when you have them on split screen, it doesn't automatically cycle through which room you can hear. So like this, we leave the sound on, and then every 15 or 20, 30 seconds, like before, it'll switch the rooms and then we can hear them. And God forbid somebody needed us in the middle of the night or someone was calling for us, that's how we would be able to hear them both. So now I'll show you the split screen mode. So if I click over here on this little menu icon, I don't even know what these are called, so just bear with me. But if you go over here all the way to the right and you go up here, turn this on, this is like split screen, or you can, I think, add up to like 4 different cameras on here. So I'm gonna press OK. And now you can see that I'm able to see both rooms. So this is Riley's room and this is Jackson's room. If I didn't like the angle that is chosen for me here, I can go back to the single view of the rooms and I can adjust it. So let's say I want to see the pillow in the split screen. I can move in single view to like the pillow, and maybe a little bit more like this. We'll kind of play around with it. And then I can go back and do this again. And now when the split screen, you know, is happening, I have a better view of Riley's head, or, you know, whatever it is that I want to see when she's sleeping. So I could do that for both of them. This was really more so helpful for like when they're both taking a nap and I'm awake to see them. If I want to be able to have a view of both of them at the same time, just for my own peace of mind, this is what I normally leave it on. So with split screen, what's happening here is right now you see like the little red rectangle thing that's on the screen. That's telling me which one of the rooms, which one of the cameras has sound on right now. So right now you can hear the raindrops of Riley's room, and if I want to now hear Jackson, I have to press the little arrow back here, and now I can hear Jackson's room. I can change between them, but I'm not able to hear them both at the same time. All right, so now we're back in just single view, and I'm gonna try to see like what else I could possibly walk you through. Like that's really the majority of what we use this monitor for. You can use the little microphone button here, like if you wanted to talk through the camera, if you wanted to speak into the microphone, and like let's say Riley is, I don't know, doing something I don't want her to do, I could press this and say, hey Riley, stop doing that, and she would hear me through her monitor. So a couple other little things that I guess I can show you. If you press the menu button up here on the top right, you have these things that you can choose from. So down here you can zoom in if you click on like the little magnifying glass. So if you like that view better, like if you want to see your little infant a little bit closer, you can zoom in, and then this is the regular view. Over here you can adjust the brightness a little bit. I've never really had to do that. So you can make it darker or you can make it a little brighter. And look at that, like you see how here in the screen it's not staticky on camera, like as staticky as it normally is. It's just interesting how the camera's picking it up, because normally this is what you're seeing. You're not seeing that constant like little lines and stuff in the video. So this is what it always looks like on my end. Like this is what I'm seeing in real time, even though it's coming off differently in this video, if that makes sense. So you can adjust the brightness a little bit, and here I'm just adjusting, you know, what I'm seeing on the screen. So what else can I show you? We've got that. This is like music. So it's kind of like a built-in sound machine. It has a couple different things that they can hear on their end. I have never in my life used this with either of the kids, but I think there's the heartbeat one. And this is like a little lullaby. So I guess if you don't have a separate sound machine and you want to play some music for them, or like the heartbeat one is good for like little infants, then that's something that you could do. So then over here, this is just a timer. I guess if you wanted to shut it off at a certain time, you could. And then this is a temperature. Honestly, that would probably be one of the biggest things about the monitor that we don't normally use, or that's not correct in my eyes. Like, it does have the temperature here. I don't think it's super accurate, okay? Like, this one says that it's 74 in Riley's room. Here it says it's 76 in Jackson's room. I don't really think that that's super accurate. I've never found a monitor that's super accurate in terms of the temperature, but maybe you have. So I don't ever really use this to tell me the temperature of their rooms. And then down here, I believe that this button over here is to add additional cameras. So right now we only have the 2 set up. I think you can set up to 4, but right now we have the 2, but I think you can sync 2 more if you have more kids that you want to keep an eye on. And then now that I'm looking at it, I'm not really sure if this is like the timer, if it's an alarm clock of some kind. I honestly have never used this one, but I think that this one is the timer for like how long, like until when this goes into sleep mode. So I think that there's a way to turn this into sleep mode, like 5 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes. But again, I've never used that feature on the monitor. So let's go back to the view that I use when both of them are sleeping at night. So remember, I turn on this little icon over here so that it rotates and it cycles. So when I'm in bed and I'm sleeping and this monitor is like literally right next to my head so that I can hear the kids if something happens in the middle of the night. The one thing that I don't really like is that I don't want this like with the light in my face, because it, you know, keeps me up at night and I want it turned down. Like, I want to not see a picture here. I am able to do that. So all I have to do is just click this button over here and then it goes black screen. So it's still on. You see, it's still on and I can still hear them, but I don't necessarily have to be seeing them. And that's okay because I'm asleep anyway. My eyeballs are closed. I can't see them either way, but I can still hear them and I don't have to have like the light on in my face. So I think that that's a nice feature, and then I can turn it on. If I wake up in the middle of the night and I want to see them again, I can do that by just clicking this button over here. So that's the monitor in a nutshell. I hope that answered most of the questions that you guys have had. Most of the questions that I've had in the past about the monitor have been like about split screen, if I can see both of the kids, how that works. I hope that just gave you a better idea of how we use the monitor. If you have any other questions about this, just let me know. You know, we live in a 2-story house and I've never had any issues with like this being out of range or not working, not picking up the signal. A lot of times the kids are up here sleeping, I'm downstairs, especially during their naps and stuff like that, and I'm able to see them and hear them just fine. So I'm not sure if that's gonna be the case everywhere, but remember, it's not based on Wi-Fi. So even if Wi-Fi is down, for any reason you're having Wi-Fi issues, you're still gonna be able to plug the cord of the monitor into the wall. As long as you have power, you can plug it in and you're gonna be able to see your kids, because that's all that this monitor needs to run. And then as far as the battery goes, I find that the battery lasts a pretty long time. Most of the time, like at night, it's plugged in, it has like a little cord, it comes with its own little charger, so we have it plugged in at night so it doesn't run out of battery overnight. I try to make sure that I'm charging it whenever it's not being used, so I'll unplug it whenever the kids are napping and I'm walking around with it, or I'm down, you know, sitting on the couch and have this next to me. I haven't found that I've had any issues. As long as I'm turning it on and off, like turning it off when it's not being used, I haven't had any issues with the battery, and the power button is right up top here. In my opinion, it's been a great baby monitor. Great if you have 2 kids, if you want to be able to look at them both at the same time. I know that it's hard to find a good baby monitor, and we just got lucky. Like, this is the first dual monitor that we use, but I like this one even more than like the single. Before we had Jackson, we had the Infant Optics single monitor, and I found that that one had a lot of range issues, whereas this one I haven't had those problems. So really like this monitor, very happy with it. I'll have it linked down below in the description box with like different places where you can find it if you guys decide to purchase it. But we've enjoyed it. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little mini tutorial review, whatever you want to call it. If you guys do happen to be new here, I would love for you guys to stick around, subscribe. I am, like I said, a mom of 2. I do a lot of like daily vlogs and hopefully helpful motherhood content, so I would love for you guys to like join the family and just kind of hang out with us as we do this momming thing together. But that is going to be it for today's video, so thank you for being here. I love you guys to pieces. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.